Hey, good to see you again. So it's been a day since I uploaded the last video, and I've wanted to do this video about this story because I'm kind of like watching the what do you call it, the metrics on the videos that I'm uploading. I'm like they're kind of like a stock standard, and I'm like, what can I do to get you to watch till the end, right? Um, just a story. This is a wild story. It's a story that involves leaving it to the last minute, partying, a bizarre, made up, I don't know, I don't even remember, a fictional, almost fictional project that I wrote up, and the most attention I've ever got at university. So let's start. So probably about around the last year of uni of my full-time course, I was part of a subject called, I think it was computer history, and I'm not really sure exactly. One of the things was we had to pick a person, write an essay about them. Charles Babbage, I think it was the one that I wrote about. And I did I actually spent a lot of time. So this is the funniest thing, right? The first part, because two projects in this subject. The first project, I put in a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of effort. I wrote it up. I thought I was really impressed with it. I put in a lot of work. And this is, this contrast is what makes me wonder, about things. And I put in the essay, and I think I got a medium grade B plus. Nothing to write home about. I wasn't really, but I actually spent a lot of time and effort on researching it. Now, the second part of the subject, I was kind of like, yeah, I was a little bit demoralized by that result. I put in so much effort, got no real result for it, and so the next part of it, I kind of like didn't attend all the lectures, and we had one more project to go, and we got it, and we had this. I think it was like a month to do it, something like that. And what happened was, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll, I don't even remember what the subject, what it was about. I think what did we have to write about? We had to write about some potential technology or some future technology. I don't know. Was it future technology? I don't know. But that's not really the point of the story, right? So what I was doing was like, yeah, I'm gonna put it off, and I was kind of like doing things like I was DJing and playing music at the time, and I was kind of going out on the weekends, and like, oh, I'll leave it till later. And I was really comfortable because I was working in video games, and I was kind of like working in the entertainment industry on the side, DJs, dancing, all that kind of stuff. And so, I kept on putting it off first week, second week, third week, and I'm like, okay, this is the last week. I really have to do it. I really have to do the project. I got to get started. It's like Monday. Okay, I've got to start it tomorrow. I'm like, I still have absolutely no idea what I'm going to write about, what the essay will be about. And then, then it comes to the weekend. The project's due on the Monday, and it's the Friday. And I'm like, I really got to start this. I got to spend the whole weekend on it. Spend the whole weekend on it. And I remember like the first night, my friends called me up, so let's go out and party, let's go out. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And the first night on the Friday night, I actually went and got home early, about midnight from not a huge party. And I'm like, I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna do. But that day on the Saturday, I remember it was August, so it was this spring, no, almost springtime. And in springtime, or just before springtime, you have like these little, I think they're plum trees, are kind of berry trees, and they have like these brilliant kind of like rose white um, petals for their leaves, I think, or for flowers, and they're just full of it. I just remember walking down the street that day, doing something, and going, "Wow, it's a really beautiful, end of winter day." At the time, it was 2000, either 2003 or 2004, maybe 2003, two, somewhere in there. It's like early 2000s. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go get started. So I actually sat down on that Saturday to start writing. I had absolutely no idea what I'm gonna do, and I couldn't think of anything to write. I couldn't think of a topic. I couldn't think of an essay. I was really not really interested, and I just kind of like sat there. And I swear, I remember getting a call saying that we're going out, and I've got these two girls that I knew at the time, and they called me and they said, like, come out with us. So I got to do this project. I have to work. It's like, it's all right. Come up with us, and we kind of like partied that like pretty much until like 6 a.m. like that. I remember going to clubs, and I was just whatever, right? Got home and I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? I slept during the morning, And I got up in the afternoon, evening, and I was really tired and quite exhausted. But then I just thought, like, I'm just gonna just write. I'm just gonna write whatever comes to my mind. And I wrote, I think, about 10 pages that night. Project was due the next day, and it was. I was just making stuff up. I don't even remember what I wrote. I really honestly don't remember what it was about, what I wrote, but I knew that I had to get it done, and I just made everything up as I was going along. And I just went one draft. That's it, finished. I think I finished it at around 3 a.m. on the Monday morning, and the next day, or that day, I handed it in. So that's that. I thought, okay, I probably passed, maybe. And so this is the kicker. If you made it this far, this is the kicker. I think it was about 2 weeks or something like that, where it was like the end of the year, and it was the last. And we were told, look, we had to come into that lecture. The lecture was packed, and I remember walking in. I sat down, and then the lecturer said, once I remember him saying, like, once, very rarely do you see work like this. He said it was absolutely incredible, so incredible that he had to share it with the rest of the class. I'm like, okay, wow, that's interesting. He puts up the essay, and the thing is the essay that I wrote the day before I handed in after partying for the whole weekend. And I was just like, I flushed red. I'm like, what is going on? So, I mean, it was a topic about computer science, right? It was about computer history, probably about the future. I don't remember the exact thing. I remember the first essay because I spent so much time on this. This was just like an unconscious stream of just blabber. But it got the attention of the lecturer that he showed it to everybody in that lecture theater. Said that it is one of the best pieces of work he's ever seen. And he said that everybody should have a look at it as a reference for how a good essay or incredible piece of work, whatever it was, should be done. And I had absolutely no idea how that happened. What was it in that essay that got this person's attention, And why was it that I spent all these weeks preparing for this one essay, piece of work, structuring it, planning, researching, all this stuff? But the one that was just like a stream of unconscious words that I didn't really even think about, didn't plan, I just wrote it out. And it's funny because it was like, that saying, like, you don't do it, but it's just being done for you. That's what it felt like when I was doing it. And sometimes when I code, it's like you kind of like think about things, you have them in the back of your mind, and you know what you need to do, and you just write the code, and you just do it, and you're not consciously thinking about what it is that you're doing. You're writing code, and then all of a sudden it's done. I mean, that kind of probably happens because I've been doing it for like 20 years or so, right? So it's all this unconscious stuff. It's like walking, right? I don't even think about walking, I just do it. It's like when there's a complex problem that needs to be solved with code, just code. That, in essence, I think is mastery, right? So, I've been doing it for 20 years. Happy to say that, I can do that. I'm not the best coder. There's guys that been in video games and were doing amazing things with maths and stuff like that really, boggled my mind at the time. But looking at it now, it's like, well, maybe that's what, the people that I'm working with now see that I'm doing. So it's one of those things, well, where you kind of have to trust the process. And if you can open, I guess, your mind's eye, whatever, just don't try and think too much sometimes, like maybe after preparing, because, when you write code, you kind of like lead up to it. So what happens is that you're kind of thinking about how to do something. You might get ideas. Okay, yeah, okay, that's it. That's how I do this. That's how I do that. You're kind of sitting on it. Maybe you write a few notes, and then you sit down after digesting those thoughts, and you just unconsciously write all the code. AI can't do that for you. So, on that note, I hope you did watch this, and I will do another video next week, again, about refactoring, but I thought I would do this one today to see if I could get your attention and get you to watch right up until the end. If you did, please leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought of the story. I'd love to hear from you. Bye.